I was inspired from this event to definitely facilitate similar, kind of more regional, localized events, and working with our Oregon Beef Council to maybe mimic a similar experience has definitely been something that I've been looking into. But really tangible and immediate was my connection with Dr. Jennifer Mayo with Portland Public Schools. And we've since met and had the opportunity to just have a dialogue about what resources exist here in Oregon for agricultural education, just have the ability to connect and to see what resources that we can provide Portland Public Schools as they're going through their curriculum development process. So that's been a huge, just really tangible takeaway that was just based upon being on the same experience together.
So one of the things that we talked about when we met before was about how we might collaborate to expand your summer programming. Just like the whole idea of like challenge-based work for both teachers and students as a way to engage. I'm thinking of, the cow milking carousel we saw had the robotic arm that was bagged because it wasn't in use. So like coming from a challenge standpoint of that, like, okay, you're in the role play, you're the farmer, and you've got to fix the robotic arm so that you can do this.
When it comes to things like that, that's really where we can get students really excited about a concept of agriculture. They're still going to be learning about needs of a plant and things life cycles that we're teaching in our normal curriculum, but really connecting to something very unique and thought-provoking for the students, but also really relevant to their future, because this is something that students are really going to be solving.
So if we could create something that helped to make those connections, maybe identifying there are a couple of strands in NGSS that deal with, like Earth and space science, and deal with like genetic and environmental factors of living things. It just seems to me that there's some parallels that we can bring to teachers so that they can see the connections themselves, because teachers have got to experience it on their own first before they can effectively take it to students.
And that's, I think, where these experiences, really understanding the need for, obviously we know we need to eat, but kind of that giving it a little bit more thought than we ever have before about the process and the dedication and the amount of people and the amount of resources that takes. And just really getting that thought process started for the teacher and helping them to understand it for their students. Obviously here and now on Earth, but then to take it to that next step for their students, I think that would be really fascinating. Both the teacher and the students.
Yeah, one of the things we talk a lot about is the STEM identity for both the teacher and the student. And, so many teachers haven't had a robust science learning experience themselves, maybe in their, PK-12 education or in college or in teacher prep. And so the more we can support teachers with content and real-world experiences, like going to some of our local farms or learning about Oregon commodities, more than just like, oh, well, I went and picked berries on Sauvie Island. That's our farm connection, right? Which is great. But we know that it could be so much more.
Right, and it's just scratching the surface when we really have, I think where a lot of value comes is from those connections and having a dialogue with farmers. And so how can we equip teachers with those experiences, provide them those experiences in a way that's doable and useful and really relatable?
For me, another entry point could be the cross-cutting concepts in the NGSS, which are like stability and change and systems models and structure and function, because those things all dominate the functioning of the agricultural world. And that would be a really great way to then make some content connections back to the classroom.